Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be talking about this one film that I want to get in a Blu ray format, but it's impossible because the prices on Amazon and eBay are ridiculous. Okay? They're not less, I think they're not less than like $100, and I'm not going to spend money on a film for that price, like $100. So this is a film from the 90s which stars the Wayans brothers. And it's a parody of Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, I think Juice, if I'm not mistaken. Juice, Higher Learning, Dead Presidents, and a lot of other like 90s um, films, okay? And I have it here. So if you guys already know what's the name of this film, good for you. If you don't know, it is Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood, which is a ridiculous name in itself because it's so long. But it should have just been called Don't Be a Menace or something. Not so long that Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. There it is, as you guys can see. So my issue with this is that I have a love-hate relationship with this film. I love it because they did a good job parodying the films and making it into a comedy and having some sort of a stay here that people are like, it's awesome that they created this film. It's awesome. It's cool. It's nice. They created something that people enjoy. But the thing is that if you're going to compare it to the originals, like every time I watch one of these films, Higher Learning or Menace to Society, or I watch Boys in the Hood, which is my favorite, then it just reminds me of Don't Be a Menace. It just reminds me of that. Like every single time I watch it, it just reminds me of that all the time. Like when I watch it, and then when I watch this, it's like it's weird to me because every time I watch this film, it reminds me of the originals. Or if I watch the originals, then it reminds me of the parodies they did. Just like how they did poetic poetic justice. I think they also did poetic justice. Now that I'm remembering, these guys did poetic justice in this film also, but in a comedy version. And I think they threw in their Hot Shots, which Hot Shots was like a parody. But I'm not sure if they really did it or it's just me comparing it to Hot Shots because there's a scene that kind of resembles Hot Shots, but Hot Shots with Charlie Sheen. There's a scene in there that kind of reminds me of that kind of film, but I may be wrong. But most of these films are parodies. I mean, most of this film is a parody of the originals, which every time I'm watching the originals and the parody version, I'm like, oh, I'm thinking of this scene, but it doesn't happen because it's in the parody, or I'm watching the parody, and then I remember, no, it's in the original. So it's a little bit of like a love-hate relationship with the film. Am I saying that this should just be thrown in the trash bin? No. But like I said, I'm trying to look for this in the Blu-ray version, but they are asking for ridiculous prices, like hundreds of dollars, and it's not worth it. And the next thing I want to say is that these guys just do parodies. Like most of their films are just parodies. Like look at Haunted House. I think that's what it's called, Haunted House. They parodied Paranormal Activity. I think they did Paranormal Activity. I think they did what's this other film? I'm not sure if they did Insidious. They did so many films in the both versions. And what's the other one? They did Dance Flick, Scary Movie, that was also parody of all the scary films, like like Ghostface. They did all kinds of stuff like that, which in a way is like, yeah, it's cool that you did it, but every time we watch these films, now we're thinking of the originals, which is like, in a way, I would say you're kind of destroying the originals with it. But it's just me. I'm like, I love these films, but at the same time, I don't like what they did with it. Okay, I don't like what they did with it. So I'm like, I love it because they were able to make the same films, but make them into a comedic setting or a comedic version. So that's just me about that. But like I said, this is a film that I do think it's great. It's awesome. I just wish that we got a bigger release out of this in a Blu-ray. Like you could re-release it or something, because ridiculous prices, over hundreds of dollars just for a film like this, because it's Blu-ray. And I'm not sure how much the DVD cost, because back in the day I got this at Walmart years ago, and it was at the price of, I think, $5 at the time. $5. So what could go wrong with this being $5? What could you go wrong? Like, I think back in the day, I don't remember this film growing up. I don't remember watching it, but I may be wrong. So that's why I'm saying that this is like a film that I love and hate at the same time, like I mentioned. And the thing that I have to say about this is that I just wish that they did release it in Blu-ray. But the thing is that it's Miramax, and now Miramax is, I think, fully owned by Disney. And Disney's not going to be releasing a bunch of their movies in a physical format, because everybody's going to digital. Everybody's just going digital. That's including the PlayStation, Sony with their PlayStations, the Xbox, Nintendo's pretty much doing it. The first one to do it, and I'll tell you, the first one that I felt like really did it was Apple. Apple did it with their MacBooks and their iMacs. They started. I'm not sure. Yeah, their MacBooks. Their MacBooks were like the first ones that, the first um, computer to remove the disk drive. So now it's harder to get these films, and Apple was the first one to have an application where you could buy movies and you could buy music, and that was before they made the standard of removing the disk drive. So that's a disappointment, and people now are realizing, and I'll mention this just really quick. There's a lot of people that are realizing that streaming services and buying stuff on the internet is no good, because you're not owning anything. All the stuff that's in the application, let's say Hulu, Netflix, uh, Amazon Prime, Peacock, uh, Max, Paramount Plus, and all these other services that are out there. Yes, you get to watch your film that you like, but let's say in a month, can you watch the same film again, or is it being taken off? Like right now, they've taken off a bunch of Looney Tunes um out of Max. They've taken off a bunch of other shows, like, let's say, Static Shock. Like I recently saw Static Shock on this year. I think it was that I saw Static Shock on Max, and I saved it. I said, look, in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna watch it when I have the chance, when I get around to it. But now that I got around to it, it's like, too bad. Now that I got around to it, it's gone. So there's a lot of stuff that you don't know when they'll take it off. They just decide, let's take it off in a week, or let's take it off in a month from now. Who knows what they remove? So that's the same thing with like Sony, the PlayStation, that they removed a bunch of stuff out of their systems, and I mean, not out of their systems, but out of their online platforms, their websites. They took them all down, and people lost a bunch of content. And now people are realizing physical media is the way to go, because physical media is everything you own. There's no way you're going to lose the you're going to lose the rights to it or something, or you're going to lose the DVD. Like this, I have it. I get to watch it whenever I want. I don't get to say, oh, I'm going to look for it on Amazon, or I'm going to look for it to stream it online. No, I have it here in hand and I can watch it, and that's it. So that's all I have to say about this, is that I've been looking for this in the Blu-ray, not possible, but whatever. So that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I try to catch you guys next time, or whenever I get around to making another one of these films. I mean, these like videos, and that's it.